So, what if I told you there's this multi-trillion-dollar market out there, a whole continent sized economy, really, that a lot of businesses are just overlooking? Well, today we're diving deep into exactly that. We're unlocking the absolutely massive trade potential between Brazil and Bangladesh. Okay, let's just jump right in. Look, if you're a business leader in Bangladesh, you know the drill. You're always on the hunt for that next big growth engine, right? You've probably got the whole Europe and North America trade thing down to a science. But what if you're leaving a multi-trillion-dollar opportunity just sitting on the table? An opportunity just waiting to the south? That's really the big question we're going to tackle here. So here's our game plan. First, we're going to talk about why looking for new markets is so important right now. Then, we'll get into the jaw-dropping scale of what we're calling the Brazilian gold mine. After that, we'll get into the details, the real nitty-gritty for both exporters and importers. We'll even talk about the challenges, the real-world hurdles. And stick around, because at the end, we'll introduce you to the people who can actually help you pull this off. All right, let's set the scene. For decades, the story for many of Bangladesh's biggest exporters has been looking west, right? Building these incredible businesses trading with Europe and North America. Meanwhile, on the other side of the coin, importers back home are constantly searching for huge, reliable sources of raw materials to keep those export engines firing on all cylinders. And, that creates a bit of a vulnerability. It's the classic all your eggs in one basket problem, or maybe two baskets in this case. Think about it. One little hiccup in those Western economies, and it can create a massive ripple effect back home. That's why finding another huge trading partner isn't just about finding more customers. It's about building a shield. It's a strategic move to protect your business from risk. And that brings us to Brazil. Now, this isn't just, another country to sell to. No way. We're talking about an economy the size of a continent. This is the kind of partner that could be an absolute game changer for businesses in Bangladesh. Let's just start with the biggest number on the page. Brazil's GDP? Over $2.1 trillion. I mean, let that sink in. This is not some small niche market we're talking about. This is one of the biggest, most powerful economic engines on the entire planet. And what's powering that $2 trillion machine? Well, how about nearly 213 million people? And it's not just a big population. It's a population with a huge and growing urban middle class that's eager to buy things. That creates this incredible demand from within. And if you want proof of that demand, here it is. Just last year, Brazil imported, get this, over $262 billion worth of stuff, $250 billion. And that's everything you can imagine, from clothes and phones to giant factory machines. It just shows you how deep the pockets are and how varied their needs are. So here's the key thing to remember. It's not just any one of these things on its own. It's the combination that's so powerful. You get the massive population, plus a hungry middle class, plus huge import demand, all in one place. That is what makes it a gold mine. Okay, so gold mine sounds great, but what does it actually mean for you? Let's get really practical here. We'll start by putting ourselves in the shoes of a Bangladeshi exporter who's looking to break into this market. And listen, this isn't just some theory we're cooking up, it's already happening. In the last fiscal year, exports from Bangladesh to Brazil jumped by 26%. That's a huge signal that the door is open, and the demand is very real. So where is the number one opportunity? Well, it's a perfect match, really. Ready-made garments. I mean, Bangladesh is a global giant in making clothes, and Brazil has this huge retail sector that's just crying out for the kind of quality and scale that Bangladeshi producers are famous for. Okay, now here's an opportunity that I find really fascinating. Jute. We're not just talking about selling a commodity here. We're talking about selling a solution for today's world. Everybody's trying to move away from plastics, right? Well, jute products from Bangladesh are the perfect eco-friendly answer for everything from shopping bags to cool sustainable fashion. But wait, there's so much more. The opportunities go way deeper. Think about things like home textiles for all the hotels and homes in Brazil, or beautiful leather goods for their fashion industry. And it doesn't stop there. We're talking pharmaceuticals, ceramic tableware, even high-tech stuff like IT and digital services. The point is, Brazil's economy is so diverse, there's a good chance there's a place for whatever you're selling. Great, so we've covered the export side. Now, let's flip the coin over because this trade relationship is definitely not a one-way street. Brazil is also a massive supplier, and that's incredibly valuable for Bangladeshi importers. Let's go back to that garment industry, Bangladesh's powerhouse. For them, cotton is king. And being able to source huge amounts of high-quality cotton from a major producer like Brazil, that is a total game changer. It's not just about getting a good price, it's about making your supply chain stronger, safer, and more stable for the long run. And just like on the export side, the import opportunities are super diverse. We're talking soybeans and maize to help with food security, or sugar for the food industry. You could even tap into Brazil's world-famous coffee to supply all those cool new cafes popping up in Dhaka. Basically, Brazil can be a direct pipeline for all the essential stuff a growing economy needs. So you see, it really is a powerful two-way street. On one side, exporters get to grow and diversify into a massive new market. And on the other, importers get a reliable source for the raw materials they absolutely need to keep their industries humming. It's a classic win-win situation. Okay, but let's be real for a second. A market this big and rewarding, it's not going to be a walk in the park. There are definitely complexities. To really succeed, you have to go in with your eyes wide open and understand the hurdles. Brazil is a very formal, very regulated market. You've got to do your homework. Really, it comes down to three main things you need to master. First up, tariffs. You're looking at an average tariff of about 12%, so you have to bake that into your pricing strategy right from the get-go. Second, paperwork. And I mean they are serious about their documentation. Their systems are all electronic and super precise. There is zero room for error. And third, and this is a big one, language. In Brazil, business is done in Portuguese, period. So being able to communicate in their language is a massive advantage. So with all those challenges, you might be thinking, how on earth do I navigate all of this? Well, that's where having a guide, a dedicated partner, can literally make or break your success. So let me introduce you to your guide for this journey, the Brazil-Bangladesh Chamber of Commerce and Industry. Let's just call it the BBCI. You can think of them as the official matchmaker, the bridge connecting businesses in both countries. They exist for one reason, to make all the trade we've been talking about actually happen. And look, this is way more than just a place to swap business cards. This is hands-on, practical support. We're talking about them helping you find the right buyers or checking out suppliers for you. They'll even help set up those all-important first meetings. In a market as complex as Brazil, having an expert partner like this in your corner, well, it's not just a nice-to-have, it's pretty much essential. So, we'll leave you with this one last thought to chew on. You've got Brazil, with its incredible scale, and you've got Bangladesh, with its amazing production power. You bring those two together with the right strategy and the right support, and this relationship could become something huge. Not just another trade route, but a major strategic corridor that could genuinely reshape the economic future for both countries. Pretty amazing to think about, right?